Bradford Ferguson and I have so many things to talk to you about today that it's really hard for me to decide which to go first, second, and third. So I'll just pick the one I care about the most. That's the book. Hey, Bradford. So you're now a number one best in AI, number one new book in the AI sector on Amazon. Did you know that?
I did not.
Yeah, yeah. That's after 2 days.
Let's go. And it's not even available in print yet.
I
So
know, I know. Who knows what
maybe
happened?
that'll be tomorrow or over the weekend,
I'm
but right
hoping
now it's just on Kindle.
it's only on Kindle and the print versions are in for approval. And so maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day. Yeah. So we had a little technical error. Of course, there was a technical error, and I had to actually call the folks at Amazon and find out why it was technically erroring. And
Oh,
but anyway, we got it solved. We got it solved.
it's going.
Talking about, well, go ahead. What do you want to talk? What do you want to say about the book? Did you have something specific?
Yeah, I enjoyed contributing. I really like how my chapter came out. I talked about business owners, how they can apply AI to their business and what the consequences of not doing it are. So I'm giving business owners a little bit of FOMO as far as AI comes. I know AI doesn't apply to everything, but I feel like the ability of AI to add automation to your business to automate boring and repetitive tasks and that are stressful, maybe on the eyes, maybe on your posture or whatever, if you're, dealing with a bunch of papers or spreadsheets or whatever. Um, I think it's as consequential as the invention of the spreadsheet or of the computer. Um, I think it's extremely important, and that's why I I took the angle that I took in my chapter.
And you had the experience. You have actually done this in your business to the point
Mhm.
of hiring another person, not letting
Mhm.
anybody go, not reducing staff because of it, but rather you hired somebody. So this is the future is not going to be fewer employees, but it's going to
Mhm.
be employees who know how to use AI in their profession.
Yeah, it's also employees that are, going to take ownership of projects to keep pushing on them and so to, give feedback on them so we can do a continual process of iterating on those and making it better and better. So we hired a programmer that has created many little proof of concept projects and and then what he needs is to get feedback from all of us. So, okay, this is what we want, this is what we don't want. Um, make these adjustments. It'd be really cool if it did this. Can it do that? So, having people take ownership and push on it with at least an hour a week where they're checking in with the project and moving along and getting feedback back to our programmer. That's kind of what it is looking like. It is what it's looking like for us, and really excited about it.
Yeah,
Our very first project, it took the programmer a day to get the proof of concept made. So 8 hours of his time. He saved Matt Smith 150 hours of work over the next 3 years, maybe longer in the future. Um, and maybe spent a half day to a day tweaking it. So
right.
that's it, like 16 hours from the programmer, saving Matt Smith at least 150 hours of his time. And this is work that is boring, repetitive. He's doing the same thing every time.
Yeah.
And it'd be better use if his talents were used elsewhere.
Sure, sure. Yeah, it's completely changed the way that I do my morning show. I can assemble content so much faster. It can be original content rather than me just reading from existing content. I can go out and find the things that are interesting to me, ask Rock to assemble the content, then
Mhm.
through that, make sure it's what I want. But yeah, completely changing that. Obviously, we all use the book. My nephew, who's a freshman, sophomore, I think, in university. I was having a text conversation with him last night, and he goes, "Well, are you going to do an audio copy?" And I said, "Yeah." He says, "Are you going to read it?" I said, "Read it? No." I sent my guy a paragraph. They cloned my voice, and then they push a little button and it does the entire book. Now he has to go through it. This guy, that's why I pay this guy. He has to go through it word by word and make sure that it's correct.
Mm-hmm.
But that takes him what? Maybe I'm going to say maybe 12 hours, something like that, to read to go through and make sure that there's no mistakes in it. But for 12 hours of his time, not my time, and
Hmm.
not doing it myself, and it's a clone, my voice cloned. So this is a huge the differences this is going to make for people going forward.
I'm curious how it goes for him, what kind of feedback he has. We cloned my voice and tried to experiment with it, and one of the first things we use is a video where we were talking about Tesla Semi.
Uh-huh.
And of course, we could have probably tricked it to do it the way we wanted, but it would say Tesla Semi,
Yeah, right.
like a semiconductor.
Yes, 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 yes.
That was, and there were a couple other things where it do it wrong, and you could probably spell it out phonetically to trick it, right?
Right.
To
Yeah.
get it to do that.
Well, this guy has a this.
I don't mind the AI voices. I know some people they don't like the pacing of them or whatever. I personally don't mind it. I listen to a lot of things. I'll either grab a super long post off of X or some article or some research. I'll dump it into something called Speechify, which is similar to 11 Labs, and then it will read the whole long thing to me because I'm reading all day.
Right.
I can't
Yeah.
I can't just do like more and more reading on top of it.
Yeah.
So I use the AI voice cloning to just read stuff to me all the time.
Right. Right. And so basically what you and I have just done is we've just given examples of what your chapter is about. And in fact, lots of the chapters are giving very specific apps and very specific AIs that people can go and use, and very specific ways that people can apply AI to their business, to their personal life, to writing a book, et cetera, et cetera. So anyway, I hope you folks will, write down there at the in the description below, as they say, is the link. Go get it if you want to wait for the print copy, hopefully tomorrow, and the Audible probably, unfortunately, about 2 weeks. So should be finished producing it on Monday, and then it takes a while for Amazon to actually approve the Audibles. All right.
The
So,
title is,
oh, the title is how good are you at saying it now?
I know the first part. You can give the byline. The title is AI Rising.
Now, if you just remember the how-to part, then it becomes pretty easy. How to thrive in the age of abundance. Yeah, and that abundance principle, a lot of people talking about that. Peter Diamandis probably made it the most famous, but now tons of people talking about, including Elon, about the age of abundance that we're about to enter into. And it's gonna be wild. That's all I can say. So, speaking of wild. I don't think many people at 4 o'clock last night in Eastern time, no, not 4 Eastern, 4 my time, 7 your time. I doubt if many people went to their dinner table last night in the Midwest or anywhere else, saying, "Oh, tomorrow morning when I wake up, Tesla's going to go down for a minute, and then it's going to go into the green by the end of the day by a couple of percentage points."
Mhm.
What do you think?
I'm not surprised like people got over it. We thought the earnings news was going to be disappointing this week. Um, there was the ending of the California tax credit, couple other things. So Matt Smith was closest of the big accounts on X.
Knocked it right out of the park.
Yeah, I was with you until I huddled with Matt on Monday this week, and he said his number was around mid 50s.
Yeah.
Um, and so, if I knew it was mid 50s, I thought it'd be disappointing. And so we actually sold cover calls this week.
Mm.
Normally, we avoid event weeks like production and delivery or earnings weeks, but we thought the earnings would be a disappointment for a chunk of people. But I think we should talk about um, all the good news that we heard. This used to be Good News Thursday.
Good news Thursday. It is. It still is. That's what it
We-
says on the thumbnail.
Okay,
Yeah.
and we got to bring it back.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, Matt was right. We sold cover calls. It's going to be a fine week for us. Um, not investment advice or anything. Yeah, let's talk about the earnings call.
Sure. Go for it.
So one thing we discussed going in was that Tesla's cash position was going to build by 5 billion. That was just one of these where I put my finger in the air and 5 billion, and that's exactly what we got. Cash and uh, short-term investments increased by 5 billion.
Hmm.
So when they don't put it exactly in cash, they buy some treasuries that are maybe a year out, and those are short-term investments. So those count. So that was a big benefit. Earnings were a little lower than expected, but we got some tidbits I really liked.
Okay.
One, I'd say the biggest one was thinking about how good version 14 is
Okay.
of self-driving. Like it's really good today, and I actually have my hands on it now. Um, so we'll talk about that in a second, Randy. Um, but Elon said on the call that the 10x parameter count model is still to come.
Right.
So, and this makes sense because one of the AI um, engineers who came from Waymo, his name is Charles Key, QI. He talked about how version 14, because of the longer context window, you know, people aren't, he was talking about in the very early days of version 14 coming out, that, there's more for people to see and experience that they haven't seen yet.
Right.
But they haven't been talking about a 10x parameter count model.
Right.
So it sounds like on this point, Elon is correct. So, version 14.1 does not have the 10x parameter count model. I think that's
Yeah.
extremely exciting.
Yeah. Yeah. So that means we've got all that X to go.
We don't know if it'll make it better by another order of magnitude or not, but it's very clear that version 14 is 100 to 1,000 times better than version 13. And we'll talk about that in a second. But now we have potentially like another 10x. It's just like they need to figure out how to architect the software to do all that.
Right.
So Elon talked about a software rewrite on the call, probably to get it to dot two or maybe it's dot three
Hmm.
on 14.3.
Right. Yeah. Which he said, I think dot 3 will have reasoning,
Reasoning.
which will be part of this available space. We'll be able to get enough room to put in reasoning.
And the example he gave was around parking,
Yep.
where it will look at the parking lot, see how full it is, and make a decision on where to park.
Right. And
If
because it
it's
has
super
eight
full,
eyes, and because it has 8 eyes
yeah, it's got
going in
eight
all
eyes.
directions, it can find a parking lot better than you, about parking space better than you can.
Hmm. Yeah. So yeah, that was extremely exciting. Um, it sounds like Optimus is coming in earnest late next year, but that they'll have a prototype in the first quarter. That's the Elon goal right now.
Right.
He called Optimus 2 very hard to manufacture.
Right.
So hopefully Optimus 3 is, or the one they're unveiling is easier to manufacture.
Well, if they're already buying the equipment, I think they probably have a lot of it dialed in.
Hopefully. But he did warn people that, and this was a Wall Street analyst, that he doesn't, the design isn't going to be locked. They're
Mhm.
going to iterate once they start making it. And he said you don't know until you actually start making it. Um, some things may need to change. So
Sure.
it's like your battle plan going in, and you can use AI and your 3D models or 4D models to design your manufacturing plant. Scott Walter's company, Visual Components, makes this type of software. You could do all that or use NVIDIA's Omniverse, but it's only until you actually start making it that you know what it's actually going to be like to make it
Okay.
and
You
what
don't
adjustments you have to make.
you don't know anybody named Adebola Ikwenjabi, do you?
I don't think so.
Okay, they want to come into the room with us, but I don't know anybody by that name. So I'm not sure how they got got my Zoom information. But okay, I just in case you had invited somebody or somebody
The
knew.
Nigerian prince, Adi, he wants to
Wants to join us.
be someone trustworthy to handle some money for him. If only we give him some money
That's
first.
right. That's right. Okay, so sorry, I lost track when I saw that because we don't normally have interlopers trying to bang down the door to get into the room.
Mm, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so that's what did you say? No, I'm sorry. Just go on to the next good point.
Yeah, so
Oh,
it's
you're talking
he
Optimus.
talked about he talked about being starting to ramp Optimus toward late next year.
Right.
So I think you're talking about, thousands of Optimus then. So it's a further pushback on Optimus.
So that's not how I read it. I could be wrong, but how I read it was everything's pushed on Optimus is pushed back like 1 quarter. Now, earlier this year, it got pushed back like a half a year. Now we're getting pushed back another quarter. So if we're looking at actual Optimus reveal at the end of the first quarter, beginning of the second quarter, I believe that will be, what do they call it? The pre-ramp, they'll be making hundreds of them at that point. And those hundreds then will go out into the factory and start, being road tested, if you will.
Mm,
And so then it's a matter of when do you get to a place where those hundreds are clearly operating right, they're not breaking down, they can do the tasks they're supposed to do. And is your all of your equipment on your line operating in such a way as that you can now start turning it up? Can you
mm,
make it go faster? So I think the ramp won't be the end of next year. It will really be whenever that day is. It could be April, it could be May, it could be June. I think it could be July, but it will
mm,
be in the second half of the year, granted, but maybe only a quarter later than we were thinking it was going to be.
mm.
That's how I saw it. You're probably right, but Matt Smith was right. You're probably right. I don't know.
I'm wrong a lot. So those were the main things that stood out. They also emphasize, voting your Tesla shares. I'd encourage people to vote their shares and don't assume that if you voted in one account that you voted on all your accounts. So you need to go in each account and vote your shares.
Mhm, mhm.
I think that's important.
So you guys are the energy experts. You don't have anything to say about energy. My question continues to be, how come we're not, putting, I think, in fact, didn't you just say 2 weeks ago that you thought that we would build two more or start two more of them in 2026? Was that you or was that somebody else?
That was not me.
That was not you. So do you think we'll break ground on two more in 2026?
Well, they are breaking ground on Houston, or that's already broken
Oh,
ground,
okay.
right?
Yeah.
I would say one more.
One more? Okay. Seems like they would just,
It'd be smart for them to do Europe, but they do need a source of batteries and
yeah, yeah.
don't know Europe's attitudes around getting batteries from China or whatever.
Probably depends on the country.
Hmm.
I think Poland right now is they don't care if it's going to make money, just come and do business with us. It's so funny. You're from that neighborhood, and when I was growing up, it was Polish jokes, right? And of course, Chicago was the key place where
Yeah.
the Polish refugees settled in the meat business. And now Poland is like the 20th largest GDP in the world.
Hmm.
It's the fastest growing country in Europe. So it's like you just don't know where the next thing
Yeah.
is going to come from. So
It's okay. I am not Polish, but there's I think a key reason for it. And
that you're
you
not.
have all you have all the unions in Germany.
Yeah,
Like the
yeah.
unions are like super strong in Germany. So it's almost like Poland is like the Southeast United States where they're not unionized there and much more free market for labor. Um, I think that's one reason why Poland is doing well.
Yeah, yep, yep, yep. And they're still a Western country, even if they were behind the curtain. All right. So that was so those were the main.
Any big ones from earnings that I didn't hit that I
I
missed?
just think people, I think I've said it this morning. I think I'm going to say it again with Cern Basher, but I do think there's two things people need to take away from the call, and that is it would have been within the range of the rest of us, the 65, 70 cents, something like that, but for one-time items. There's a bunch of one-time items that none of us could. Well, I guess apparently Matt Smith figured out these were there were some one-time items coming. But if you put those one-time items back in, you're much closer to a 60, 65, and a really good response. And I think that's why we had the turnaround today, is people started saying, wait a minute, if we're gonna take out the good one-time items, we got to
Hmm.
put back in the one-time bad items.
Yeah.
And you start loading those back in, and it looks a ton better.
Okay. Well, I'm interested in seeing more of that analysis. I've been pretty busy
Oh
today.
yeah, yeah. There's a lot of that
Yeah.
analysis out there. You could just watch my program from this morning, or watch
Okay.
something later. Yeah.
All right.
And then the other thing was the free cash flow. Amazing, fantastic. We got to love it. Don't count on it for the fourth quarter. We got to
Hmm.
rebuild the inventory that was created by that the sale of the inventory created this massive cash flow this time.
Yeah.
So
50,000 more cars sold than made in
right.
the third quarter. That can't continue forever.
No, that would be true. So I think the other reason the stock popped. Oh no, before we go to that, what about
Oh,
driver
the 10
FSD?
cities.
Oh, the 10 cities. Yeah,
Yeah, starting Robotaxi in 8 to 10
right.
cities by the end of this year.
Yeah,
That's pretty serious.
that's pretty serious. And with a 3-month timetable to go to pull the safety drivers out of each of those cities.
Yeah, that would be exciting to be able to shorten that window a bit.
Mhm.
Elon's reiterating pulling the safety driver out of Austin by year end.
Right.
He's probably being the optimist, so maybe it'll be by March of next year. But I'm hopeful with how good 14 is. Um, so maybe we should talk about that now.
Okay, so here, let me just say about
Okay,
Elon. Let me
one
say
more.
about safety. Let me just say about safety. I believe this is an Elon Musk call.
It's his call to
I believe
make.
it's 100%. I believe, I mean, everybody's telling him what they think,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
but the way he says it with such passion, you know, it's got to be about the safety. We cannot afford not to have it be, to have these accidents or whatever that could mess us up. Just cannot happen. I think he's got to be the one to say, okay, I've seen the stats, I've seen the data, I've ridden the car, you know, go. I really believe it's him.
So I think here's something Tesla could improve on. They can do this in simulation.
Yeah,
Elon on the call talked about how good their simulator is. He said, when you look at video in the simulator versus real video from Tesla cars, you can't tell the difference.
yeah, yeah.
And one thing they've done in simulation is they've had other cars threaten to back into the Tesla. And we're already seeing videos from people with V14 where they got a car in front of them purposely
Mhm.
to, start to back into the Tesla, and it's a one lane road. So the Tesla had to back up,
Mhm. Mhm.
and it actually did.
Mhm. Mhm.
And it's able to do that. It wasn't able to do that V13.
Yeah.
Maybe, maybe up to half the accidents that Waymo gets into that is not the fault of Waymo are when another vehicle backs into them.
Interesting.
We saw this with the first safety critical
Right.
intervention in Austin, where the UPS truck
Mhm.
and the Robotaxi were fighting over the same parking spot. So
Right.
the UPS truck pulled up to do the parallel park, and the Tesla started to go into it, and they both did that at the same time, and the safety monitor took over. So Tesla already has that piece down. What we don't know is whether or not version 14 will move the car up if someone's not paying attention and is about to fender bender you.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah.
So maybe that's something Elon wants to add before they go all the way. Um, I think safety's there.
Yeah. So I had
It's
I had
just seeing things much faster than it used to, which was still extremely good.
yeah. Yeah. I've got an idea for Elon. If you're we know you watch Elon, so please take this one idea too. You've got eight eyes and you've got perfect capability to drive. Why not put up an obstacle course and have the car go through the obstacle course in reverse at 70 miles an hour?
Ooh, that'd be pretty cool.
I don't think there's any reason it couldn't.
Mm.
Right now, it should be able to do it.
Yeah,
That'd be fun. That'd catch attention.
yeah.
All right. Okay, so you've ridden FSD 14.3?
14.1.3, yes.
Sorry, yeah, 14.1 for the, yeah. And you were kind of talking about it, but
Yeah, I've done over 2 hours with it, so
okay.
I've tested it quite a bit. It's extremely smooth. It uses more of the lane now to enhance the smoothness. So sometimes when it turns, it swings out before it turns.
Hmm.
I didn't see that with
Hmm.
version 13. It swung out before doing a U-turn as well.
Hmm.
Just where the road's a little windy, it's hugging the inside of the lane, toward where it's winding,
Yeah.
and doing that back and forth to make it very smooth. In roundabouts, it's far better than I am driving roundabouts.
Oh,
Um, it's,
and for those
sometimes it's
and for those
so
for those who don't
incredibly
and
smooth,
for those
it's like imperceptible.
and for those who don't know, Bradford is the roundabout king. He's in Carmel, Indiana, which is
Yeah,
the city of roundabouts. And some of you may not have been watching the show long enough to know this. So
yeah,
he's got roundabouts everywhere.
yeah. There's over 100 roundabouts in a 5 square mile radius. There's 4 traffic lights in that same uh, 5 mile radius that I know of. Yeah, it's really really good, and um, I'm really excited. I would call it near perfect.
You're perfect.
I
And
think that's the headline.
okay.
And where it falls a little short is
Uh-huh.
it's hesitant around crosswalks.
Okay.
That's good, right?
Mhm. Yes. Yes.
It's also hesitant at stop signs. So once it gets there, it's already stopped, and then it's clear it's your turn or there's no other cars. It's a little stuttery, a little jittery. So that's about it.
That's it. Okay. All right. Solve those two and we're done.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've seen somewhere in school zones it's not slowing down
Okay.
appropriately in school zones. Still driving safe, but
Right.
it's not obeying the speed limit there.
Right.
I did try out Mad Max,
Oh, you did? Okay.
and
In the
what people
roundabouts?
I do have it on all the time. It doesn't really drive too different. It'll go like 45 and a 35 or 40 and a 30.
Okay.
Um, it doesn't drive too different in normal city streets. I tried it on highway, and people say it's very safe. And I'm gonna explain it this way: is you know how what where you're driving on the highway and someone just like squeezes between you and a semi, and they just do one of these, and it's you're thinking like they must have had a foot on each side, and that's incredibly dangerous. Person's got a death wish or whatever. Um, it doesn't do that. So it's not,
Yeah.
Mad Max,
Yeah.
Apocalypse, Death Wish type of driving. It'll go fast on the highway.
Yeah.
But it does the lane changes extremely safely. And even when you might do the lane change, it doesn't quite do the lane change.
Right.
It waits until it's got a clear an extra margin of safety.
Interesting because on 12.6, which is what I've got since I'm hardware 3, it makes lane changes on at least California freeways. It makes lane changes that I probably wouldn't have made.
Uh-huh.
And I'm a pedal to the metal guy. I mean,
Mhm.
I'm built for speed.
Now
Um,
maybe they dial that back for
maybe,
14.2
yeah.
and make it a little more aggressive, but I that's how I would describe it.
Okay. All right. Okay. You ready to talk about analysts?
Yes.
Says here, according to Grok, see, this is an example of Grok doing my work for me.
Mhm.
Tesla heads toward the green on analyst upgrades. So that the Tesla was in the red this morning. Then all of a sudden these upgrades started coming in, and I had Grok go in and find me every single analyst who had done any kind of a change since
Mhm.
yesterday at the close of the call. And so overall, 15 up. You know how long that would have taken to do that using just a Google search or whatever? Overall,
Too long.
15, long time. Overall, this took 2 minutes. Overall, 15 updates, 5 raises, 2 lowers. That's pretty impressive. Aligning with a consensus price target about $400. And of course, we're already at 448 right now, so that's good. Baird raised to 500 from 325.
Well, that's a big one.
He must have liked the call.
Or he liked the stock going up from like 300 to 450.
Mizuho, who I think just started covering the stock, went from 450 to 485. Cantor Fitzgerald went from 355 to 510.
Mhm.
Okay. Roth MKM raised to 505 from 395. And Truist raised from 280 to 406. So these are not like little raises. These are like big raises.
Mhm. I so I'm gonna give the counter argument
Okay.
here.
All right. Okay. Okay.
I think many of these are likely a delayed reaction to the stock going up from a couple months
Is
ago.
their excuse?
So, this earnings and the strong quarter that Tesla had with production and deliveries. I'm guessing most of these analysts that of the 6 raises, most of them had not yet raised their price meaningfully since then. And maybe one or two of them that were smaller, they might have raised it, right after that big production and delivery beat, which they likely use as an excuse to just kind of like follow the stock with their price targets.
Right, right, right. Yeah, I understand the counter argument. I agree with the counter argument. I think, though, that you'd rather have 5 increases and 2 decreases than the reverse.
Yeah, for sure.
So it probably contributed to the nice day that Tesla had today. So what do you think happens next? I just got off the phone with Brian Wang, and Brian thinks that we're now a dead cinch to hit 500 before the stockholders meeting. I agree with him. 600 by the end of the year at least. And you say?
So we have version 14 rolling out to more people. Larry's downloading it. When I was talking with him earlier today. Um, I'm curious how big that rollout is, how quick it's going to happen. I'm guessing like each week Tesla's going to be pushing out to more people, or maybe it's going to be, a couple times each week. Um, Elon claimed on the call if you have advanced turned on your car, you're just going to get the update. Not true yet. Maybe that's going to be true in the future. Um, so I do think Tesla's serious about it. He made the point that safety is very important when they first release a new big version of the software,
Right.
and then they optimize for comfort with the next dot release, the big dot release. So 14.2, we would believe that it's going to be more comfortable. It won't be as hesitant around stop signs or crosswalks. Um, so I think we'll see that. And so you got more people getting the software and seeing how good it is. And I think that could help the stock over time. They'll want to show it to their relatives again,
Yeah.
all that good stuff.
I,
I do agree with folks who say like when you do go to unsupervised, so I'm coming around to your camp.
yeah.
When you do go to unsupervised, when you can just be on your phone or just drift off or whatever while the car's going, I think that'll be a killer feature for FSD to have.
Well, thank you for recognizing that that's been my song for over a year. But Elon said it now, so everybody has to agree now.
Yeah.
All right, so you've got this other company. I don't know, some kind of company, Lumicente. I have to always look it up again because
Mm.
I didn't do that well in Latin when I was in school. So I have to. I did. I actually took, eighth grade. We had, the full year Latin, so it helped me in law school. But that was that. But there you go. Doesn't help me to remember Lumicente. Anyway, Lumicente.
Yeah, it's the venture capital, private equity that Larry and I are doing. Um, and we're um, accredited investors or qualified purchasers can go to our site at lumicenti.com to indicate that they're interested in hearing about companies um, that we're looking to invest in. And then if you indicate your interest, you can find out more about it. Um, so right now we're in the midst of giving the presentation from the first company over the course of several different meetings, different meeting times. And it's cool to hear the CEO and founder of the company present. Also, board members and some of their key employees pitching in as well. Um, Larry and I think it's really, really compelling what the offer is. I don't, I don't know if I'm allowed to really say more, but it's um, pretty unique and interesting. It's not an Elon Musk company,
Mhm.
but it is capital in service of um, expanding the light of human consciousness.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So it's this first investment is in the field of medicine, and there is an AI aspect to it, and also yeah, helping out with mental health.
Hmm. Well, line me up. Sign me up.
Well, you got to go to the website and indicate your interest.
There you go.
Um, yeah, so I obviously I'm not a good salesperson.
Well, you know what? It's all different kinds of ways to pitch. Okay. But
Yeah,
you tell
but
the story. That's what's important. Yeah.
yeah, we think Larry and I, we would not be investing in companies if we don't think they're multi-baggers. And multi-baggers are companies that can multiply in value, not just kind of grow with the economy or grow linearly.
Right.
We think there's a potential to be multi-baggers. Now, that comes with the risk that you could lose 100% of your investment too. That could happen.
Now,
Um,
when I was in high school, a multi-bagger meant something entirely different.
Is that marijuana or something?
No, no, no.
Bag of marijuana?
It was how ugly a girl was. It was a single bag or a double bag.
Oh, that's
Oh,
mean.
that's mean. That's
That's
mean.
mean.
Yeah. All
No,
right.
that
So,
so when I was growing up, that was like how many bags you wear to the Colts game.
oh, was it? Depending depending on how cold it was, or
Yeah.
the coldest I've ever been was in Chicago.
So what we do when we're looking at a multi-bagger is we're looking at different factors that lower your risk. And there's multiple factors with this first company that we believe lower our risk. It doesn't get rid of the risk completely, but lowers the risk. And um, so that's why he and I are excited about it and are bringing it forward to more folks than just he and I. Because Larry and I, we um, made some deals together in private equity, but we didn't, bring others in previously to this. And
Yeah,
there's a
and
reason for that. It's like it was exciting to us, but it wasn't as compelling.
right, right, right. Yeah. And my understanding, I hope I'm not speaking out of turn, is that you've had an amazing response. You've had quite a large number of people that are interested in this.
Yeah, it's a very healthy response, so we're excited about it.
Yep. Yep, yep, yep. All right. Well, let's
It's
see.
𝐿UMASENTI.com.
I spelled it right.
Good job.
Nice, nice. Yeah. All right. And so anything I left out, anything that we should be talking about here that we haven't gotten to yet?
Well, check out the book. Look for updates from Randy and others as far as if you prefer a print edition, when that's going to be available, but also when there's an Audible edition as well. Be on the lookout for that too.
Yeah, and Bradford wants you to do reviews, but he wants you to always remember to mention his name and Lumicente in the review. That's
I don't know about that, but I do think I am chapter 7. So
okay,
you
chapter
want
seven.
to you want to find my chapter? It's chapter 7.
Yeah, so the book is
That's
arranged.
lucky 7.
Yeah, well, the book is arranged with more of the light stuff in the front.
Hmm.
So that doesn't mean it's not, it doesn't mean it doesn't have weight. It's just that it's not as technical in the first like 9 or 10 chapters. And then the last 8 chapters are what we call the stack chapters, where we look at mining and refining, we look at energy, we look at the data centers, we look at chips, we look at inference, we look at every aspect of the stack. And one of the things that I really wanted to say, Elon, I think even said it yesterday, or others said it yesterday. This company that you're invested in, Tesla, is the only company, period, that is at every level of the stack, is in control of every level of the stack, and is also not only did they have that, but in addition to that, they're also the by far and away the top company in the real world AI with
Hmm.
robotics. So these are you talk about moats, and right, we're always looking for moats. Those are two
Yeah.
significant moats.
Yeah. The the AI models that Tesla has and bringing them into the real world, it allows them to potentially learn much faster, where an LLM is trained off of a bunch of words, um, and then
That's
then
it.
then you got to do all this stuff to it. So robotics, which includes the car, I think is going to be a very powerful expression of AI. And I'm really excited for what Tesla's bringing to the table as well. I agree with you.
Yep. All right. Okay. Well, Bradford Ferguson, as always, super fun to have you on board. And I don't know what you have to say.
Yeah, let's get right to the numbers.
Thanks again. All right. So Tesla, after being up 2.28% for the day to 448.98, let's call it 449, is off a little bit in the after hours at 447.04. That's down 0.43%. Let's go ahead and take a look at the bonds, which were up today. I want to say up. The yields were up earlier today. Let's take a look. The yields are now above 4%. That's not good. Somebody needs to start the rally back up. We're barely above 4% in the after hours of the pre-market at 4.005. That's up 1.6 in the pre-market. We've got oil backing off a little bit from these giant gains. Just a bit, though, 9 cents back down to 61.70. That's still a fine number. Nobody would care if it stays at around 61, $62. This is a very good place to be. Natural gas down 1.56, getting natural gas back down to $3.29, which is a little more sustainable, but probably needs to come down some more. You've got gold up $1.40. Gold, which has been like up and down by big numbers. Gold actually right now down 40 cents. Now it's unchanged. Anyway, 4,145. So it's kind of sitting in the middle of this range between 4,000 and 4,400 right now. Silver down 0.04% at 48.68, so staying well below the 50. And copper up, I'm sorry, down 44%, 44%, down 0.44% to $5.09. All right, then you've got the dollar mix tonight, and you have got Bitcoin up, managing a decent gain today, 1,800 up at 109,867. That would be 1.68%. And Ethereum, not quite as much, only up 0.82% at 3,841, way off of where it was a couple of weeks ago. All right, we've got the futures for tomorrow on the equities. We've got the Dow down 0.04. You've got the S&P up 0.06 and the Nasdaq up 0.14. 6,779 on S&P futures right now would put you at the all-time high if we get there tomorrow. That would be all-time highs. I'm thinking that we must have ended on the all-time high today. I'll have to double check that before I talk to you in the morning. All right, so later on tonight, as I've mentioned at least a couple of times, it's Cern Basher, as he should be, because it is Thursday night. So be sure and come back for Cern tonight. I will put up a card right now for last night, which would be it was Wednesday, right? Brian Wang, because I put up the other card earlier for Jeff Lutz. So I'll put up the Brian Wang card. If you didn't see that yet, of course you should go back and check that out. It's really, really, it was a really solid show. All right, is there anything else I need? Oh yeah, yeah. Let's see. Buy the book. Hopefully tomorrow we'll have the print copies, but if not, and you want the Kindle, buy it now. It's been great talking to you.